that will help you. Now, do know that over the course of the year, your piece is going to change. It may look one way in October and November and look completely different by the end of the year because you're fine-tuning it. You're figuring out, well, I don't like that line anymore. Get rid of that. That part wasn't any good. Put this part in, and you can do that from tournament to tournament. And your emphasis has changed, and you've added a couple of extra little fun things that, in your emotions and in the way you delivered it and so forth. Then also just make a note of subtext. This isn't necessarily for marking your script, but just imagine what your character is thinking. Are they thinking, are they saying, great? Or are they saying, great? So you can make some type of mark there that will help you remember. Because when you just read something straight, it just kind of lies flat. But your markings will help you remember how you would say it. I keep going back to the cheap about a dozen because I looked at that all last year. When the old lady came and said, "Are those your children raising a picnic?" And he goes, "They're my children," and it was no picnic. Okay, so he just changed. He's real proud, and then he's a little bit irritated with all the people in the back, and so forth. So he may have had a funny line, but he also changed. So, but if you read it, they're my children, and it was no picnic. It's kind of flat. So that's why your markings help you remember the next day, the next week, the next month what you said as you're memorizing. Now, this is an example of a marked up script. Remember, it's the boy and his mother. So, mother, there's a fire truck pulling up in front of the house. Ricky, what has happened? Okay, see the little markings there? And then, oh, nothing. Long pause, and he may be getting the skewer and, putting on the little marshmallows and, and then he walks out, going out the front door to go, roast marshmallows. So you can do different things there. You might even put blocking notes to yourself. You want to get rid of them for your clean script, then you can put all kinds of different notes. We call them blocking, some physical things that you would be doing there. You could do that for your own markup script. All right, vocal delivery. Any questions on just getting your script kind of together? All right, vocal delivery. These are the things you want to consider as you're memorizing your piece, is how you're going to, how each character is going to speak and the different things with their voices there that you need to keep in mind. The volume. You're going to, of course, want to make it appropriate to the room. The way you practice it at home may sound fine. But then what if you walk into this enormous room with all these people and a lot of distractions, who knows, and you have to speak louder? Or what if you have practiced it kind of loud for the sake of a big room, and you walk into a cracker box closet? You don't want to be obnoxious and talking loud in this little 6x10 little room and driving people crazy because you've learned to deliver it loud. You've got to be able to adjust for the room. So keep that in mind. Like right now, my speaking voice is a little bit louder than my normal voice because I have a bigger room here and I'm trying to get a whole bunch of people to hear me. So you're just going to have to play around with the volume. Also, if you have a character that has a little bitty voice or they're whispering, you're going to have to make sure the judge hears you even though you're whispering. Do you see what I mean? So you're going to have to make sure it's clear and that they can hear you. You're going to also have to watch your rate. What that means is the speed at which you're going. What I have found, more competitors have this problem, is that they just go way too fast because you're nervous. And have you ever just found yourself talking quickly because you're nervous anyway? We just multiply that times a million, and that's how it is in a speech tournament. You're just going like you got caught on fire, and everybody's like, "Whoa, that was a story," okay? Because it went so quickly. And that would have my kids to work on this. I'll time them, and it looks about 9 minutes, 30 seconds, or 10 minutes looks great, and they go to a tournament and they're doing it in 8 minutes. And I'm like, what happened? Well, they just caught on fire and they burned down or something in front of the judge. So you really have to work on slowing yourself down because most people do speed up. So if you are practicing at home and you're 10 minutes and 30 seconds, there's a good chance you'll end up at 9 minutes and 30 seconds in competition. Now that's not true for everybody, but it's often true. So just be careful about your speed there. One thing I've read, a trick, is if you find yourself going too quickly, just an exercise you can do at home is try to read through it as fast as you possibly can, or just interpret as fast as you possibly can, and then stop, and then do it again normally, and your normal will be slower than your old normal used to be. But it does take a concerted effort, so just be careful about that. Another thing is articulation, and that is making yourself clear, enunciating your words. Because what happens when you're nervous or whatever, you tend to just kind of race through it and people can't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. Or you may be mumbling. And there's some students here who have a tendency to mumble. And so this is to help you move on beyond that. But you're kind of interpreting, and then this character kind of does this, and then this character kind of does this. Your mouth is not moving. Words are coming out, but nobody can understand what you're saying. So you need to make sure that you are delivering it in a crisp way. Has anybody ever had any type of choral training? You've been in some type of choir and so forth? Okay, Ms. Malone has. They will really emphasize that you make your T's kind of crisp. That at the end of the word, or whatever, just a little bit there so that people can understand the words. Well, the same would be true with this. Sometimes you'll have to over enunciate your words. Not so much that you are doing this and people just don't even know what to do with you, but just so that they can hear the T's and the C's. Because there'll be times as a judge I'll say, you know what, when you started screaming, I couldn't understand what you were saying. I mean, I bet it was great, but I couldn't tell. So you'll want to make sure that the whispers, the loud cries, or just the normal flow of conversation, that you're slowing down and you're articulating. And we'll help you with that in your coaching. Another trick, actually Ms. Elledge teaches us this trick, that will help you articulate, is this little exercise that you do before you go into the competition room. And she swears by it, and so does her son. And you take your fingers and you put them in your mouth and you say the Pledge of Allegiance. So everybody do this right now. Take as many fingers as you can. Stick them in your mouth and let's say I pledge allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance. And who had America, and who powers for hand, one hand, under God, irremovable, and for all. There you go. See how warmed up you are. And then you get your mouth open, you get your cheek muscles kind of stretched out there, and be real expressive. And then Eileen, what's the potato chip trick? Like if somebody's throat is really bad, or
yes.
What's the potato chip trick?
The potato chip trick. The potato chip trick is before you would speak. This is when you're hoarse because you have no voice left, and you put a potato chip in your mouth and just let it slowly dissolve. I mean, you can chew some. Don't be gross about it or anything, but and it's the oil in the chip that will coat your throat to speak.
There you go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you heard it here. There you go. Okay, and then lastly, our accents. Thank you. Our accents. If you want to do something with a particular accent, you can watch a movie with that person that has an accent. Listen, see if you can pick that up. Somebody in the last class said that there is a website where you can go type in your lines and then ask for it to be said in a particular accent, and it will do that for you. So she said she would let us know about that. But you'll just need to practice that to see how your accents would go. And there's accents, there's foreign accents, there's accents just here in the United States. We have all kinds of ones. You have like the surfer dude people, and then you have the country boy farmer kind of person, and you have the city slicker from Chicago that speaks a certain way, and then you have the Southern belle and all this. So there's all kinds of different voices and accents that you can use. So just practice those. You can listen to some of them on movies or CDs or whatever, and you'll get a better idea of how to do that. What questions do you have about that?